There's a flaw sitting inside of every Windows computer right now, and as of today, Microsoft has no patch for it. This week, the federal government issued not one, not two, but three separate emergency cybersecurity orders. A major U.S. company had its physical production line shut down by hackers, and someone is actively trying to steal the master password for your password manager right now. We've got 7 threats to cover in this week's Cybersecurity Threat Roundup. And I'm saving the most dangerous one for the end because you need to hear everything else first to understand just how serious it is. I'm Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Live Technical Support, and every week we cover the biggest, most critical cybersecurity threats that are out there so that you can be aware of them and take proactive measures to protect your computers, your data, and your reputation. So let's dive in. Let's start with the biggest emergency of the week. If your business uses Microsoft SharePoint, the document sharing and collaboration platform that hundreds of thousands of companies use every single day, you need to make sure that it's been patched today, not this week, today. Last week, we told you about one SharePoint vulnerability being actively attacked. This week, CISA, the Federal Cybersecurity Agency, confirmed that hackers are now chaining 3 separate vulnerabilities together at the same time. Here's what that means in plain English. First, they bypass your login entirely. Then they run their own software on your server. Then they steal your security keys, all in one single move. It's like someone discovering 3 separate locks on your back door and picking all 3 before you even know they're there. CISA is telling every organization, not just the federal government, to apply these patches immediately, confirm they're installed correctly, and check your server logs for any sign of unusual activity. This is not a get it when you can situation. If your SharePoint server hasn't been patched, someone may already be inside your system right now. 3 vulnerabilities chained together, actively exploited this week. And SharePoint wasn't the only emergency this week, not even close. CISA gave federal agencies a hard deadline of this past Saturday to patch a vulnerability in Oracle's e-business suite. Oracle released the fix back in May, and we notified you about that. This means that anyone who hasn't applied it has had months to act and hasn't. Then CISA gave federal agencies until this past Sunday to patch 2 separate vulnerabilities in Fortinet security platform, also already being actively exploited in the wild. 3 government orders, 1 week. When the federal government moves this fast and this loudly, the threat is real. If your business uses any of these platforms and you are not certain of your patch status, this is the phone call that you need to make before the end of the day. If your business uses SonicWall to secure remote access, and a lot of small and medium-sized businesses here in Florida do, this one needs your immediate attention. SonicWall confirmed this week that attackers are actively exploiting 2 brand new vulnerabilities in its SMA 1000 line. These are the devices that let your employees securely connect to your business network when they're working from home or out in the field. Here's the part that should stop you cold. One of these 2 flaws requires no login whatsoever to exploit. An attacker doesn't need to know your password. They don't need to trick an employee into clicking anything. They simply walk right through the front door. SonicWall has released patches. If they have not been applied, your remote access gateway may as well have a welcome mat out front for hackers. Here's the story that I think every business owner needs to sit down for a moment and think about, because this one proves that cyber attacks are no longer just about stolen files on a screen. Coca-Cola disclosed this week that its Fairlife dairy subsidiary was hit by ransomware, and the attack forced the company to physically suspend United States production. Not suspend computer systems, physically suspend production. The machines stopped running. This is the reality of ransomware in 2026. It's not just files and passwords. it can bring your entire business operation to a complete halt. And here's what the data consistently shows. Hackers are not just targeting large corporations. They specifically target smaller businesses because they know the defenses are thinner and the owners are less likely to catch it in time. Coca-Cola made national news. The thousands of small and medium-sized businesses that get hit every year don't. Coming up, new malware that targets Mac users specifically. A phishing attack designed to steal your master password to your password manager, and that Windows 0 day I promised at the top of the show. Stay with us. This next story hits especially close to home for every small business owner and accountant. Ernst and Young, one of the nation's largest accounting firms in the world, disclosed this week that an unauthorized party accessed their third-party support system used by their IT staff. And in doing so, they downloaded documents that included client tax information. Here's the thing that most people miss about a breach like this. Your sensitive financial data does not just live on your computer. It lives on your accountant's system, on their vendor systems, on the support tools used by the people who service those vendors. You have no visibility into any of this. Every single third party that touches your financial information is a potential entry point into your world. The lesson here is not to stop working with accountants or advisors. The lesson is to know exactly what data you're sharing, with whom, and to start asking the hard questions about their security practices, because their breach becomes your problem. Mac users, I know some of you are sitting here thinking, this has nothing to do with me. I have a Mac. Hear this next part carefully. There's a new piece of malware spreading right now that specifically targets Mac computers. It's called ClickLock. And here's how it works. Something tricked you into pasting a single command into your Mac's terminal application. That is a text-based control panel buried in your utility folder. Once you do that, the malware locks your entire computer, closing every program, making the machine completely unusable until you type your Mac's login password. The moment you type that password, it steals your saved passwords, your browser data, and if you hold any, your cryptocurrency wallet information. The rule here is simple. If any website, pop-up, or online guide ever instructs you to paste something into terminal, do not do it. Legitimate software does not ask for that. If you see it, close the window immediately, shut down your computer, and walk away. If you use LastPass or Bitwarden to store your passwords, and by the way, you absolutely should be using a password manager. We don't recommend LastPass or Bitwarden, but we do recommend a password manager. But LastPass and Bitwarden are both sounding the alarm right now about a wave of phishing emails impersonating their official security alerts. These emails look legitimate. They have the right logos, the right formatting, the right language. They have one single goal: to get you to type in your master password. Your master password is the key to every other password you have. Your email, your bank, your business software, everything. If someone gets that, they own your digital life. Here's what you need to know. Neither LastPass nor Bitwarden will ever send you an email asking you to enter your master password. Ever. Not for any reason. If you receive one of those emails, delete it immediately. If you're not sure it's real, type the website address directly into your browser yourself, and never ever click a link inside a suspicious email. Remember the very first thing I said in this video? That there is a flaw inside every Windows computer right now with no fix available? Here it is. Researchers this week disclosed a new Windows vulnerability called LegacyHive. And what makes this one particularly dangerous is how little access an attacker needs to use it. In plain English, someone with a basic everyday user account on a Windows computer can use this flaw to make changes that affect the administrator account, the account with complete control of that machine. Under normal circumstances, a regular user cannot touch the administrator's settings. LegacyHive breaks that wall. Now, to be clear, an attacker would need to already be on your network or have some kind of low-level access to exploit this. But in a business environment where employees share systems or where a single compromised account can touch other machines on the network, that is not a high bar at all. As of today, Microsoft has no official patch. What you can and should do right now, make absolutely certain your employees only have the system access that they need to do their specific job, nothing more. And if you do not have someone actively monitoring your network for unusual activity, that needs to change. We'll go deeper on LegacyHive in future videos as this situation develops. This past week, Microsoft released its biggest series of patches ever. 570 vulnerabilities patched, including 3 zero-day threats. To find out more about these vulnerabilities and the steps that you need to take to protect your computer, watch our July Patch Tuesday video today. One more warning before we close, and this one comes with a hard deadline that you can mark on your calendar. On October 13th, just a few months away, 2 Microsoft products reach end of mainstream support. Windows Server 2022 and Windows 11 Home and Pro version 24H2 both stop receiving security patches on that date. To be clear, Windows Server 2022 will continue to receive security updates, but not version updates. Windows 11 Home and Pro version 24H2 will stop receiving security patches on that date. What this means in plain English, any new vulnerabilities discovered after October 13th on those systems will not be fixed. Hackers know these end-of-support dates. They stockpile attack methods and wait for the window to close. If you're running any affected system, the time to start planning your upgrade is right now. We can upgrade computers that are running Windows 11 24H2 to 25H2, which is still supported. Now let's end on something good, because this week we actually have some. 2 members of the Scattered Spider hacking group responsible for the 2024 cyber attacks on Transport for London were sentenced to 5.5 years in prison this week. British authorities called it the largest cybercrime protection ever before a UK court. The people who do this are being caught. They're going to prison, and law enforcement on both sides of the Atlantic is getting sharper every year. That matters. All right, let's bring this home. This week, 3 CISA emergency orders for SharePoint, Oracle, and Fortinet. A SonicWall 0-day that requires no login to exploit. Ransomware that physically shut down Coca-Cola's production line. The Ernst and Young breach exposing client tax records. ClickLock targeting Mac users. A phishing wave going after your password manager master key. And LegacyHive, a Windows 0-day sitting on your Windows machine right now with no patch available. 7 threats, 1 week. If you're a business owner in Florida, on Florida's Treasure Coast, Space Coast, or South Florida, and you're not confident that your business is protected against what I just covered, give us a call today at 772-878-5978. Also, visit our website of fasterpc.com. While there, download our free cybersecurity report. In this report, you can see in plain English the cyber threats that are out there and what you need to do to protect yourself. It's free, and it could be the most important thing you download this year. If this cybersecurity roundup helped you, click the like button and click subscribe. We do this every single week so that you never have to wonder what is going on in the world of cybersecurity. And remember, when you have or want to prevent cybersecurity problems,
you need a faster PC.